Hey guys, today we look at a topic that is concerning a lot of, especially people that are new to playing Resto Shaman, and that is not running And we will do this by looking at 5 points that I think are important to understand how our mana spending works and what we can do to have no troubles or less troubles with spending way too much mana in a short amount of time. We will look at 5 different topics, and the first is mistakes. So what mistakes can we do? And the two major mistakes are spamming either Healing Surge or Chain Heal without a CD, and this will result you in being very, very quickly. So, first up, we're going to take a look at our smaller CDs, which are Riptide, Healing Stream Totem, and Surging Totem. These are cooldowns you basically want to use as much as possible at all times. So, Riptide, you want to cast that as much as possible on any injured target, especially on your DPS. The next thing is Healing Stream Totem. Healing Stream Totem, since we're playing Totemic, has the added effect of casting a chain heal when we drop it, like here. And this is very, very mana efficient, because it costs only 45k mana, and this is less than half the mana needed to cast a chain heal. And it heals more than a chain heal. So when you see there is AoE damage going on, your first reflex should not be casting chain heal. It should be dropping a healing stream totem. And when there's a lot of damage going on, you drop another healing stream totem. And every time there is AoE damage going on and you got a healing stream totem ready, you want to use that immediately. And it is very, very mana efficient. The same goes for Surging Totem. You want to have as many people in the Surging Totem, because like Riptide, it applies Deluge, and Deluge makes your targets that are affected getting healed for 15% more. So this is about our small cities. Okay, next up we got our big cities. Big cities is Nature Swiftness, as a semi-major city, I should say. We got Ascendance, we got Healing Tide Totem, and we got Spirit Link Totem. So, using a lot of Nature Swiftness is very good, because it makes your next spell cast cost no mana and be instant. So you can use it for Healing Surge or Chain Heal. For healings, situations in which you use it for Healing Surge is basically when someone is dropping very low very quickly and you have to top fast. You can just Nature Swiftness into Healing Surge. It will cost no mana and heal one target for a lot. Another thing you could do, or you need to do, is casting Nature Swiftness frequently especially when there is unpredicted AoE damage going on, something like a cast or an AoE going through, and you need to counteract that very quickly. You just Nature Swiftness into healing, into Chain here. Yeah, and you want to do this a lot. Yeah. So next up we got our 3 major cities, and what I tell you now is very, very straightforward, but very important. Use them. Use them a lot. Oftentimes when I see people play, or when I play with Resto Shamans that are having troubles with running I see them healing damage events, but sometimes they have all these 3 CDs up, and this should never happen. You want to, in a boss fight scenario, in a key, you want to identify, okay, what phase will deal damage, and you want, for every of these damage phases of bosses in keys, you want to have one of these CDs ready, and then you want to cycle them, like, all the time. You want to, for example, start with Ascendance, then next damage phase. Good example is the Big Mama boss in Floodgate. Every time these small adds die, the boss will deal massive damage, and for every of these phases where the adds are dying and the boss deals a lot of damage, you want to pop a one of these CDs. Okay. This will result in you spending way less mana, because if you wanted to heal like a damage phase like this just by casting Chain Heal, after one of these phases you would unironically be at 50% mana. And this will not happen at all if you cast these 3 CDs, because you're healing, for example, when you cast Ascendance, your Chain Heal is much more efficient than if you cast it without Ascendance. It's really straightforward, but a thing you could do is record your runs, and after these runs you take a look how often you didn't use them when you could have used them, you know? So you identify, have I maybe missed some casts of Ascendance or Spirit Link or whatever, and this will have a major effect on you not running Another thing that is crucial to know is what crit or critical strike does for us, and why it is the by far most important stat for Resto Shaman. Crit, which I have 36% without a flask, for you to know, is important because we got a talent that's called Resurgence, and has the effect of whenever we crit with Healing Wave, Healing Surge, Riptide or Chain Heal, we get a certain amount of maximum mana refunded. This is very, very important. Also, we got White Water. It is not only that we get mana refunded from crits, it is also that our crits heal for more than the usual 200%. They heal for 215%. This is something that is exclusive to Resto Shaman, I think at least. And these two things are one of the reasons why crit is so important for us, but especially Resurgence. You will notice that the more crit you get, the easier it is to keep hold of your mana, and do everything you can to get as much crit as possible. I have crit on basically every item I can get crit on. I have crit on it, and then I use a crit flask as well. So crit and verse, you want to stack that, and yeah, I personally like to stay above 10% haste minimum, because otherwise my spells are just, for me, it just feels way too slow to cast them. And I looked at a lot of very good Resto Shamans that are playing at the top, and they're also mostly staying above 10%, just as a rule of thumb. But getting as much crit as possible is very important and big. Another thing that falls under the category of crit is tidal waves. Tidal waves is a buff you get from casting Riptide is this here, and what it does is it gives you 2 stacks. I got it tracked here, and it will make it that Healing Surge will have a increased 30% increased chance to critically strike as well. So this makes it so that my Healing Surge has, combined with my base crit, it has around 70% chance to crit, and this means that way more than half of my Healing Surges will crit and therefore refund mana. So very important, never cast a Healing Surge, but also never cast a healing spell in general that is affected from tidal waves without tidal waves. You always want to have tidal waves before casting either Chain Heal or Healing Surge. Very important that you have that tracked in a good visible way on your UI. Point 5, and therefore the last thing we should talk about is Enchants. There is a way you can get a little extra mana from Enchants and gems, and what you want is getting this enchant on your legs, this leg enchant, and it increases intellect by 930, and it gives you 5% more mana. This is something you should do. And there's also a trick to get even more maximum mana, and this is the Insightful Blasphemite gem, and it makes it that you get primary stat 181 and 1% maximum mana per unique Algari gem color. And then you want in your sockets on your rings, you want to have all of the different types of gems you can get. This is a sapphire gem you need to have, a amber gem, a onyx, a emerald, and a ruby. And when you have all of these, you get 5%, I think, more maximum mana. So when you get these 2 enchants, you have 10% more maximum mana, and the rest of the enchants are just get crit on your rings, and then the usual enchants everyone is running: Defender's March, Avoidance on cloak and wrists, Crystalline Radiance on chest, Authority of Fire Resolve on the weapon, and for the head enchant, the Corruption, it is Greater Void Ritual, like basically anyone else is using that as well. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have now a little bit better, or it makes it a little bit better for you to play M+. Keep in mind, I'm not a professional guide writer, but these are things that I just listed that helped me a lot in playing higher keys. At times some 18 keys, that's not like the highest keys in the world, but I have like mana isn't really an issue. One very last thing in M+ that I forgot that I will tell you now is look for openings where you can, in between packs, sit down. You really need to maximize this in M+, especially in higher keys. Like, sit down all the time when you can, even if it's just for 5% mana that you gain. Just see that you can have as much mana as possible, or can recover as much mana as possible whenever you have the chance. Thanks guys, and see you maybe next time.